and Prabhuji has a very nice lectures and devotions. So he's trying to keep everybody on the Krishna service. So please, everybody, welcome Adi Gadadhar Prabhu and say Hare Krishna Mahamantra and welcome Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, dear Pradyumna Prabhu. So we'll get started. I would like to read one verse from Bhagavad Gita before we get started. Let's see. Where is that verse where Vyasayatmaka Buddhi Ekeha Kurunanda? Search. Someone tell me the verse number.
241.
41. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. So let me see if I can share my screen. Can everybody see the screen?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, so let's get started. Let's start with Mangalacharan prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaurat Vise Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Dear devotees, thank you so much for your kind association and my sincere gratitude to my very respectable spiritual superior, His Grace Pradyumna Prabhuji, for giving me this opportunity to serve all of you today. Today is the divine disappearance day of Shri Baldev Vidyabhushan. So we will speak on the glories of Shri Baladev Vidyabhushan, who is one of the very prominent acharyas in our Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. So I would like to begin by reading one verse from Shri Bhagavad Gita. This is the second chapter entitled Contents of Bhagavad Gita Summarized, and we will be reading verse number 41. Lord Krishna is instructing Arjun. Vyavasayatmika buddhi rekeha kurunandana bahushakhāhanantascha buddhayo vyavasayinam. Vyavasayatmika buddhi rekeha kurunandana bahushakhāhanantascha buddhayo vyavasayinam. Vyavasayatmika buddhi rekeha kurunandana bahushakhāhanantascha buddhayo vyavasayinam. Vyavasayatmika, resolute in Krishna consciousness. Buddhi, intelligence. Eka, only one. Iha, in this world. Kurunandana, O beloved child of the Kurus, Arjun. Bahushakha, having various branches. He, indeed. Anantaha, unlimited. Cha, also. Buddhayaha, intelligence. Vyavasayinam, those who are not in Krishna consciousness. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Abhay Charana Aravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Those who are on this path are resolute in purpose, and their aim is one. O beloved child of the Kurus, the intelligence of those who are irresolute is many branched, which means those who are on the path of Krishna consciousness, they are very fixed up in their purpose. They are very focused. They are resolute in purpose, and their aim is one. On the other hand, my dear Arjun, Lord Krishna is telling, on the other hand, those who are not in Krishna consciousness, those who are not resolute in their purpose, their intelligence is multi-branched. But a person who is in Krishna consciousness, a devotee, is very focused. Lord Krishna is saying. Now let's see the purport. Srila Prabhupada says, a strong faith that by Krishna consciousness one will be elevated to the highest perfection of life is called Vyavasayatmika intelligence. The Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela, chapter 22, verse number 62 states, this verse is very important, my dear friends. This is the definition of faith. If someone asks us, how do you define faith? What is Shraddha? Then Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita is giving us the definition of Shraddha or faith. So Shraddha is very important in Krishna consciousness. In fact, our progress from Kanishta to Madhyam to Uttam Adhikari depends on our Shraddha. So Shraddha is very important. So we should know what is Shraddha. Srila Prabhupada is saying a strong faith that by Krishna consciousness one will be elevated to the highest perfection of life is called Vyavasatmika intelligence. It's called faith. Just by doing Krishna consciousness, everything will be achieved. That is faith. But very specifically here in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is mentioned, Shraddha Shabde Vishwasa Kahe Sudrida Nishchay Krishna Bhakti Kaile Sarva Karma Krita Hai. This is the definition of Shraddha or faith. Shraddha Shabde Vishwas Kahe Sudrida Nishchay Krishna Bhakti Kaile Sarva Karma Krita Hai. Faith means unflinching trust in something sublime. What is that sublime faith? Shraddha Shabde Vishwas Kahe Sudrida Nishchay. Having firm belief that Krishna Bhakti Kaile. If we do Krishna Bhakti, if we engage in Krishna consciousness, devotional service, Sarva Karma Krita Hai. Everything will be achieved just by executing Krishna consciousness. To have conviction about this fact that just by doing Krishna consciousness, just by engaging in Krishna Bhakti, everything will be achieved is called faith. Hare Krishna. श्रद्धा शब्दे विश्वास को है सुदृढ़ निश्चय कृष्ण भक्ति कैले सर्व कर्म कृत है. We should have complete faith that just by practicing Krishna consciousness, everything is achieved. All perfection is achieved. To have this conviction is Shraddha, is faith. When one is engaged in the duties of Krishna consciousness, he need not act in relationship to the material world with obligations to family traditions, humanity, or nationality. There's no need. Fruitive activities are the engagements of one's reactions from past good or bad deeds. When one is awake in Krishna consciousness, he need no longer endeavor for good results in his activities. When one is situated in Krishna consciousness, all activities are on the absolute plane, for they are no longer subject to dualities like good and bad. The highest perfection of Krishna consciousness is renunciation of the material conception of life. This state is automatically achieved by progressive Krishna consciousness. The resolute purpose of a person in Krishna consciousness is based on knowledge. Vasudevah sarvam iti sa mahatma sudurlabha. A person in Krishna consciousness is the rare good soul who knows perfectly that Vasudev or Krishna is the root of all manifested causes. As by watering the root of a tree, one automatically distributes water to the leaves and the branches. So by acting in Krishna consciousness, one can render the highest service to everyone, namely to oneself, to one's family, one's society, one's country, to the entire humanity, etc. If Krishna is satisfied by one's action, then everyone will be satisfied. Yasmin tushtam jagat tushtam. If Krishna is satisfied, the whole world can be satisfied. And this by watering the root of the tree, yatha taror mula nishechayana triptastiya skanda bujopashakha. In Srimad Bhagavatam it is mentioned, just like we water the root of the tree, the entire tree, the skanda, the branches, shakha, everything is nourished. Similarly, if we serve Krishna, everything, everyone, all our debts to everyone is completely fulfilled. Service in Krishna consciousness is, however, best practiced under the able guidance of a spiritual master who is a bona fide representative of Krishna, who knows the nature of the student and who can guide him to act in Krishna consciousness. So we saw that in life, faith is very important. And what is faith? Faith means complete conviction that just by practicing Krishna bhakti, just by serving Krishna, all perfection, everything will be achieved. Okay, so we have to practice Krishna consciousness. That is faith. All right. But how do you practice Krishna consciousness? How do you practice Krishna consciousness? Srila Prabhupada is saying, service in Krishna consciousness is, however, best practice under the guidance of an able spiritual master, Shri Guru. So we need Shri Guru to help us practice Krishna consciousness. The purport continues. Srila Prabhupada says, as such, to be well versed in Krishna consciousness, one has to act firmly and obey the representative of Krishna, that is Shri Guru. And one should accept the instruction of the bona fide spiritual master as one's mission in life. I repeat, Srila Prabhupada is saying, one should accept the instruction of the bona fide spiritual master, Shri Guru, as one's mission in life. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, who is the Guru Maharaj of Sri Baldev Vidyabhushan, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur instructs us in his famous prayer for the spiritual master as follows. Yasya prasadad bhagavat prasado yasya prasadan nagati kutopi dhyayanstu amstasya yashastri sandhyam vande guru shri charanarvindam. By satisfaction of the spiritual master, the supreme personality of Godhead becomes satisfied. And by not satisfying the spiritual master, there is no chance of being promoted to the plane of Krishna consciousness. I should therefore meditate and pray for his mercy 3 times a day and offer my respectful obeisances unto him, my spiritual master. Therefore, those who are second initiated, twice initiated, they chant the Guru Gayatri Mantra and the Guru Bij Mantra 3 times a day during the 3 sandhyas, morning, afternoon, and in the evening. That is the meaning of Dhyayanstu amstasya yashastri sandhyam. Yashastri sandhyam. We sing the glory of Shri Guru 3 times a day, at least. But those who are not Brahmin initiated, there is no need to feel sorry, just chant the Guru Pranam Mantra and Srila Prabhupada Pranati Mantra 3 times a day. Just meditating on Sri Guru. The whole process, however, depends on perfect knowledge of the soul beyond the conception of the body. Not theoretically, but practically, when there is no longer a chance for sense gratification manifested in fruitive activities. You have to get perfect knowledge. One who is not firmly fixed in mind is diverted by various types of fruitive acts. End of purport. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So thank you, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. So we will be discussing the glories of Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan today. And today is his disappearance day. Sri Baldev Vidyabhushan is one of the very important acharyas in our sampradaya. And he appeared in this world in the year 1720. In the year 1720 AD. And he disappeared in 1790, which means he was on this planet for around 70 years. He appeared in a very famous place called Remuna in Orissa. We all know Remuna, it's mentioned in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita in relationship to Sri Madhavendra Puri, the temple of Sakshi Gopal. So near that holy place, Remuna, Sri Baldev Vidyabhushan took his birth in a very nice, pious Brahmin family. And he went to Sri Jagannath Puri, and there he learned Sanskrit, he learned Oriya, he learned Bengali, and he became a very great scholar of Sanskrit. And initially, he met some impersonalist guru, and from that guru, Sri Baldev Vidyabhushan learned the commentaries of Shripad Adi Shankaracharya, the Shariraka Bhashya commentary. But Sri Baldev Vidyabhushan's heart was not satisfied by reading that commentary, because it gives a very impersonal conception of the absolute truth. So Sri Baldev Vidyabhushan wanted to find something more. So he heard that Shripad Madhvacharya in Udupi Mutt, he has established very wonderful service of Sri Krishna, Udupi Krishna. And he has also written some very beautiful books, specifically Shuddha Dvaita philosophy, that there is always a difference between Jagdish and Jiva. The Jiva, the soul, can never become Jagdish. Jiva can never become God. So Sri Baldev Vidyabhushan liked this understanding of our scriptures. So he went all the way to Udupi. And there he stayed for many years, and he studied the Vedanta commentary and the conclusions given by all the 4 acharyas. Shripad Madhvacharya of the Brahma Sampradaya, Shripad Nimbarkacharya of the Kumar Sampradaya, Shripad Vishnu Swami Maharaj of the Rudra Sampradaya, and Shripad Ramanujacharya of the Shri Sampradaya. Sri Baldev Vidyabhushan, coming from Shankaracharya school, now studied the writings of all the 4 Vaishnava acharyas and became completely convinced about Vaishnavism. And as a Pakka Vaishnava, he came back to Jagannath Puri from Udupi, having complete faith in Krishna and devotion to Krishna. He had Shraddha that just by performing Krishna Bhakti, everything will be achieved. So he came back to Jagannath Puri, but now he wanted to take initiation, because until now, our Baldev Vidyabhushan, who is a young teenager, he's very studied, very scholarly. He has got grasp of the complete philosophy. He can defeat all arguments because he has studied Shankaracharya, and then he has studied all the 4 Vaishnava acharyas of the Vaishnava Sampradaya, the 4 Vaishnava Sampradaya. So you can imagine his scholarship. And he had devotion, and he had good character also. So he comes back to Sri Jagannath Puri Dham, and now he's looking for a guru, because without a guru, we saw Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport we just read that Krishna consciousness is best executed under the guidance of a spiritual master. So now he wanted a spiritual master, and he was searching, and he was praying to Jagannath, please bring me to my spiritual master. And then our Shastras describe that he met one very humble devotee in Jagannath Puri Dham, who was a devotee of Jagannath, and his name was Radha Damodar Goswami. He was a Naishtik Brahmachari, and he was very, very humble. He never showed his knowledge, his learning. He was always very humble, always chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. He would just sit in front of Jagannath and chant all day, all night. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And he would come outside Jagannath temple and he would do Sankirtan. Just sitting alone. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Completely devoted to this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Day and night he would chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. This is the sign of a Mahabhagavat, my dear friends. In fact, I'm not exaggerating. There are devotees even now on this planet in Vrindavan Dham. They are such Siddha Mahapurush. They have done such Nam Bhajan that if you put your ear to any part of their body, any limb of their body, you can hear Krishna Nam. Each and every pore of their body is vibrating Krishna Nam. Each and every heartbeat is vibrating Krishna Nam. They are so perfected in the art of chanting Hare Krishna. We are still learning the art of chanting Hare Krishna. But these are perfected souls. Each and every pore of their body is emanating the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So Radha Damodar Goswami was like that. But he was very humble. So here is Baldev Vidyabhushan from a very high-class Brahmin family, very, very well-educated. He had learned the Shastras from the best Vaishnava teachers. And he was filled with scholarship and eloquence. He could explain also very nicely. And here is Radha Damodar Goswami, who is very humble, very simple person. So one day, Baldev Vidyabhushan was having a discussion with Radha Damodar Goswami. And when he heard the sweet Siddhanta, the conclusions of all knowledge that Radha Damodar Goswami had in his heart, the love that he had for Krishna, and the understanding of the scriptures that he had, it was not theoretical knowledge, read in the commentaries, read in the books, read in the Shastras. No. What Radha Damodar Goswami had was digested, assimilated knowledge. There is a difference. Someone may be able to quote the verses very nicely, may know hundreds and thousands of verses by heart, and may be able to quote them, sing them, even at the right place also, correct application. But if one has not digested that knowledge, which means if one has not completely realized that knowledge and is practicing that knowledge in his or her life, it is still theoretical knowledge. But Radha Damodar Goswami did not have theoretical knowledge. He had practical realization. And he was a living Bhagavad. He was Srimad Bhagavatam person, living. So when Baldev Vidyabhushan saw that all that theory that I have learned is actually being internalized and practiced by this great Mahabhagavat, he surrendered at the lotus feet of Radha Damodar Goswami. And after speaking with Radha Damodar Goswami, Baldev Vidyabhushan realized that actually Radha Damodar Goswami also was born in a very high-class Kanya Kubja Brahman family. And he was initiated in the line of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. And he was a very, very erudite scholar of the Shad Sandarbhas. The 6 Sandarbhas written by Sri Jiva Goswami. So then Baldev Vidyabhushan learned the 6 Sandarbhas, Shad Sandarbhas, from Radha Damodar Goswami and received initiation from him and became his disciple. And after learning the writings of Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatan Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, from Radha Damodar Goswami, Sri Baldev Vidyabhushan understood that now my knowledge is perfect. I had learned so many things, but it was not perfect. But now after studying Jiva Goswami, Shat Sandarbhas, studying the writings of Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatan Goswami, now my knowledge has become perfect. After studying Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, now my knowledge has become perfect. So then Baldev Vidyabhushan became Pakka Gaudiya Vaishnava because he was a disciple of Radha Damodar Goswami. He became a very staunch Gaudiya Vaishnava. And then Radha Damodar Goswami gave an instruction to Baldev Vidyabhushan that you are my disciple, you are my heart and soul. But now I will give you an instruction which will completely transform your life and take your bhakti to a whole different level. So Shri Baldev Vidyabhushan was very receptive, very submissive. He said, Gurudev, please give me any order. Srila Radha Damodar Goswami instructed Shri Baldev Vidyabhushan, I want you to leave Jagannath Puri and I want you to go to Shri Vrindavan Dham. The Acharya for our entire Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya today on this planet Earth He is a very Rasik Vaishnava Acharya, Rasik Acharya, and his name is Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. And he lives in Vrindavan Dham. He is quite old now. He lives in Shri Vrindavan Dham, and he is the manifestation of the devotion of Shri Rupa Goswami. Shri Rupa Goswami's devotion has incarnated as Shri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. And Shri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has taken Kshetra Sannyas. Now he will never leave Vrindavan. He will live in Vrindavan for the rest of his life. And he is doing his bhajan in Shri Vrindavan Dham. His worshipable deities are Radha Gokulananda. My dear Baldev Vidyabhushan, I want you to go to Shri Vrindavan Dham and accept Shri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur as your Shiksha Guru and learn from him. Even higher rasas of bhakti, which I cannot give you. This is the humility, my dear friends, of pure devotees. Shri Radha Damodar Goswami was so humble. He said, there are some things that I cannot give you. Only Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur can give. So go to Shri Vrindavan Dham and surrender at the lotus feet of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and accept him as your Shiksha Guru. Shri Baldev Vidyabhushan offered his obeisances at the lotus feet of Radha Damodar Goswami and went to Shri Vrindavan Dham. Here, my dear friends, I would like to tell all of you our parampara. All the acharyas in our parampara, Srila Prabhupada has given the prominent acharyas in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, at the end of the introduction of Bhagavad Gita, as it is. But I will give you the names of all the acharyas. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his most intimate associate is Sri Nityananda Prabhu. Therefore, we worship Gaur Nitai together. Nityananda Prabhu is Balramji. Brajendra Nandana Jai Shashi Suta Hoilo Sai Balarama Hoilo Nitai. Balram is Nitai. And Nityananda Prabhu's intimate disciple and associate was Gauridas Pandit, who is Subala Sakha from Krishna Leela. Gauridas Pandit's disciple is Hriday Chaitanya Goswami. We all know that story, how Gaur Nitai took shelter in his heart, so he became Hriday Chaitanya. Hriday Chaitanya Goswami's disciple is Shyamananda Pandit. Shyamananda, Dukhi Krishna Das, who later on became Shyamananda Pandit under the guidance of Jiva Goswami. Shyamananda Pandit was a friend of Narottam Das Thakur and Srinivas Acharya, three of them. Srinivas, Narottam, Shyamananda. So Shyamananda Pandit is a disciple of Hriday Chaitanya Goswami. Shyamananda Pandit's famous disciple is Rasikananda Prabhu. Rasikananda Prabhu's disciple is Nayanananda Goswami. Nayanananda Goswami, another great Goswami. Nayananda Goswami's disciple was Radha Damodar Goswami, who is the guru of Baldev Vidyabhushan. So you saw the parampara. There is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, Gauridas Pandit, Hriday Chaitanya Goswami, Shyamananda Prabhu, Rasikananda Prabhu, Nayananda Goswami, and Radha Damodar Goswami. And after Radha Damodar Goswami, there is Baldev Vidyabhushan. Okay, so remember this line coming from Nitai, the parampara. Now, Shri Baldev Vidyabhushan goes to Shri Vrindavan Dham. He goes to Shri Vrindavan Dham and takes shelter at the lotus feet of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. And Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, through his writings, through his teachings, through his examples, he nourished Shri Baldev Vidyabhushan so much. And Baldev Vidyabhushan was just blissful being in Shri Vrindavan Dham. Can you imagine? He had never been to Vrindavan Dham. He had heard about Vrindavan Dham, read about Vrindavan Dham in Srimad Bhagavatam, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, in our literatures. But now he actually gets to go to Vrindavan Dham. And that also lived there under the shelter of Shri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Shri Baldev Vidyabhushan was blissful, doing menial services for Shri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, washing his clothes in the Yamuna, cooking for him, eating his remnants, massaging his lotus feet, massaging his frail old body with oil. All these services Baldev Vidyabhushan performed for Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, assisting him in his writings, preparing the ink, because ink was not available in the market. There was no Loi Bazaar in Vrindavan at that time. If you want to write a book, you have to take different minerals from the earth, different colored minerals, mix them and make ink. So he would make the ink. You have to make papers from leaves of trees. So all these services Baldev Vidyabhushan rendered to his Shiksha Guru, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, and many years he lived under his guidance. Now Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, it is said by some biographers, he was 100 years old very old. And he had taken Kshetra Sannyas. He would never leave Vrindavan. But something happened that really broke the heart of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Few hundred kilometers away from Vrindavan, in the city of Jaipur, where Sri Rupa Goswami's Radha Govinda deities were being served. Srila Rupa Goswami established the service of Shri Shri Radha Govinda in Sri Vrindavan Dham. But when the foreign invaders came to Sri Vrindavan and they wanted to destroy all the deities, break all the temples, Sri Rupa Goswami had already disappeared by now. The Brajvasis, they took Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Govinda Dev, Radha Gopinath, all these deities except Radha Raman, because Radha Raman is so small, only 11 inches. He was hidden easily in Vrindavan. But all the other deities had to leave Vrindavan. So Rupa Goswami's Radha Govinda Dev was taken under the shelter in the kingdom of the Rajputs of Rajasthan, because the Rajputs were still not under the Muslim rule. They were very powerful and they were resisting the Muslim rule. So in Rajasthan, the Rajput king of Rajasthan, he created a special city to take care of Radha Govinda Dev, and that city is called Jaipur. That whole city was constructed as the hometown for Radha Govinda Dev. And the king at that time was Raja Sadachari. He was the Rajput king of Jaipur. And Raja Sadachari was personally initiated by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Because Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur was the guru, the acharya of the entire Gaudiya Sampradaya of that time. So this Raja, he was a Gaudiya Vaishnava in his heart. So he came to Vrindavan and took Diksha from Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. And he was the king of Rajasthan, Raja Sadachari. And he was taking care of Radha Govinda Dev like anything. First class worship for Radha Govinda Dev every day in Jaipur. But then a branch of the Shri Sampradaya, Shripad Ramanujacharya's Shri Sampradaya, there is a branch called the Ramanandis. It's a bona fide Vaishnava Sampradaya, the Ramanandis, very great sadhus. They were living in Jaipur also. Because it was a Hindu kingdom, lot of sadhus, they took shelter of the kingdom. Because elsewhere it was Muslim rule. So even the Ramanandis were staying in Jaipur at that time. And they became more and more prominent in Jaipur. And it just so happened that there was a difference of opinion between the Gaudiya Vaishnavas and the Ramanandi sadhus. The Gaudiya Vaishnavas were happily worshipping Radha Govinda Dev. But the Ramanandis were from the Shri Sampradaya. When they saw that Radha and Govinda are being worshipped, they questioned the king. That Srimati Radharani is not even mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimati Radharani is not mentioned in Mahabharata. Srimati Radharani is not mentioned in any of the major scriptures. Srimati Radharani was not married to Krishna. So how is it that these Gaudiyas are worshipping Radharani with Krishna? With Krishna, it should be Rukmini or Satyabhama, because they are married. Just like with Narayan, we have Lakshmi. With Ramchandra, we have Sita. So it should be Rukmini Dwarkadish, not Radha Govinda. So who is Radharani? In fact, they questioned whether Srimati Radharani actually existed, or it was just some fictitious name that was added. So they said, we don't even know who this Radharani is. She is not mentioned in the Shastras. So she should not be worshipped with Krishna. Only Govinda Dev should be worshipped. And they became so prominent that, and they had such an influence on the politics of Jaipur, that they actually forced the king to remove the deity of Srimati Radharani from the altar, and she was put away in another room, all alone. So Radha and Govinda were separated, and only Govinda Dev was there on the altar. And they said, who are these Gaudiya Vaishnavas? What is their sampradaya? The Shastras, they proclaim, like Garga Samhita proclaims, in Kali Yuga, there are only 4 main Vaishnava sampradayas. There is Shri Sampradaya, Rudra Sampradaya, Kumar Sampradaya, Brahma Sampradaya. Which sampradaya do these Gaudiyas belong to? We Ramanandis, we belong to the Shri Sampradaya of Shripad Ramanujacharya. The Shri Sampradaya coming from Lakshmi Ji, Shri Sampradaya. We belong to the servants of Lakshmi Devi. But who do these Gaudiyas belong to? They don't even belong to the 4 Vaishnava Sampradayas. So how come they are the pujaris of Govinda Dev. Only bona fide Vaishnavas should be the pujaris of Govinda Dev. So we want to be the pujaris. So even the Gaudiya devotees who are worshipping Radha Govinda Dev, they were also removed from the service. And now the Ramanandi sadhus, with awe and veneration, with Aishwaryamaya Bhakti, they started worshipping Govinda Dev. Whereas in our Gaudiya Parampara, it is Raganuga Bhakti. It is Madhuryamaya Seva of Thakurji. So the Ramanandi sadhu started worshipping Govinda Dev, and Govinda Dev was separated from his Radharani. This was unbearable for the Gaudiyas. The king, Maharaj Sadachari, he was a disciple of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So he also was deeply pained. In fact, it is described that he used to cry incessantly. My Radharani has been taken away from Govinda, and my Gaudiya god brothers are not allowed to worship Govinda Dev. Only the Ramanandis are worshipping Govinda Dev. So he sent a secret message to Shri Vrindavan Dham. He sent his secret messengers, and immediately they informed Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, who was 100 years old, about to leave his body, very frail and weak. They informed Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur that your Rupa Goswamis, Radha Govinda Dev, who are being worshipped in Jaipur, are now separated. Radharani is kept in some room, in some house. She is not gracing the altar anymore. Only Govinda Dev is being worshipped, and that too, he is not being worshipped by the Gaudiya Paddhati that Sri Rupa Goswami established. He is being worshipped by the Ramanandi sadhus. And they explained to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur everything that transpired in Jaipur. Can you imagine Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, who is Srimati Radharani's Manjari, is hearing this news that my Radharani has been taken away from Govinda Dev? Her worship is being performed in solitude by some Gaudiya Vaishnavas, and Govinda Dev is being worshipped by the Ramanandis. The Gaudiyas are not even allowed to go on the altar of Govinda Dev. Is this what I'm living to hear on my deathbed? Is this what I have to hear? So the messengers of Maharaja Sadachari, they begged Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, we have got a palanquin for you. The king has sent a palanquin for you. He wants you to come to Jaipur and debate with the Ramanandi sadhus and defeat them, so that Radha and Govinda Dev can be reunited. Please come to Vrindavan. Please come from Vrindavan Dham to Jaipur. Other than you, no one can defeat them. They are very learned, very powerful sadhus, the Ramanandis. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur said, I am very old. I would have broken my vow of Kshetra Sannyas for the sake of my Radharani. But I am very old. My body will not be able to take the journey from Vrindavan to Jaipur. But my disciple, Sri Baldev Vidyabhushan, will come. He told the messengers of the king, take him with you. And he called Sri Baldev Vidyabhushan. And he said, now is the time for you to show your bal, your strength, your strength of purity, your strength of the knowledge of scriptures. There is a reason why you went to Udupi in your childhood. And you learned the Shri Sampradaya, the Shri Bhashya. You learned the commentaries of all the bona fide Sampradayas. There is a reason why you have so much knowledge, why you are Vidya Bhushan, why you are decorated with so much Vidya. But now is the time to show the bal of your Vidya, my dear Baldev Vidya Bhushan. Show the bal of your Vidya. Go to Jaipur and please rescue Srimati Radharani. Please rescue her. When Sri Baldev Vidyabhushan received this order from his Shiksha Guru, from his spiritual master, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, like Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport, he took it as the mission of his life. If I have to die after performing this mission, it's okay, but this is the mission of my life. I will put all my energy, all my ability in fulfilling this mission. And he went to Jaipur very quickly. And he went in the court of King Sadachari. And there all the Ramanandi sadhus were sitting. And a big debate was conducted. They first asked him, who is this Radharani? Where is she mentioned? We don't find her mentioned anywhere in Srimad Bhagavatam. Shri Baldev Vidyabhushan said, yes, she is mentioned. Anaradhito Nunam, Bhagwan Hari Ishwara. That verse in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam refers to Srimati Radharani. But Shukdev Goswami did not explicitly mention the name of Srimati Radharani because he is Shri Shuka. He is the parrot Shuka of Shriji, Srimati Radharani. If he would speak about his heart and soul, Srimati Radharani, then he would go in ecstasy, and Parikshit Maharaj had only 7 days. So he could not take that risk because it is a known historical fact. Whenever Shukdev Goswami would start speaking about Srimati Radharani, for days on end, he would go in trance, in samadhi, for days. And that risk could not be taken. Maharaj Parikshit had only 7 days. So therefore, he did not mention. In fact, Shri Baldev Vidyabhushan said, Parikshit Maharaj knew this. Even Parikshit Maharaj knew that if Shukdev Goswami starts speaking about the gopis, specifically Srimati Radharani, he will go in a samadhi and he will not come out of the samadhi for many days. So when in the 10th canto, Shukdev Goswami starts describing the Ras Leela, Parikshit Maharaj stops him. He says, stop, stop, stop. How is it that Bhagwan, Shri Krishna, is dancing in the middle of the night with the wives of other men? This is there in Bhagavatam. Parikshit Maharaj inquires like this. How is it possible? And then Shukdev Goswami explains that actually everyone is an expansion. Everyone is an amsha, is a fragmental part of Krishna. So when Krishna is dancing in Ras Leela, Krishna is dancing with his own expansion. Krishna is dancing with himself. All the gopis, they are expansions of Krishna only. Krishna's Ladini Shakti, headed by Srimati Radharani. So this explanation is given. But then when Shukdev Goswami heard that enquiry from Parikshit Maharaj, that how can Bhagwan dance with the wives of other men, Shukdev Goswami was very much cautioned. And he did not go in detail. He did not describe the names of the Sakhis. He doesn't talk about Lalita Sakhi, Vishakha Sakhi, Tunga Vidya Sakhi, nothing. He doesn't talk about Radharani. Why? He doesn't talk about the Manjaris, doesn't talk about Rupa Manjari. Why? Shukdev Goswami knows all that, but he did not mention it. Because based on the question of Parikshit Maharaj, he understood that the audience is not ready. If the audience has such a basic doubt how Bhagwan can dance with the wives of other men, that means they are not qualified to hear about Ras Leela. So Shukdev Goswami gave a very brief overview in 5-6 chapters and finished. There are 335 chapters in Srimad Bhagavatam. If Shukdev Goswami wanted, he could have spoken 335,000 chapters on just the Ras Leela. Because he is Radharani's parrot, he is there. The Ras Leela lasts for a whole night of Brahmaji. And Shukdev Goswami is eyewitness to that Ras Leela. So if he wanted, he could have. But he did not. This all Baldev Vidyabhushan is explaining to the assembly. But he did not. Because the audience were not ready and Shukdev Goswami had only 7 days to speak. They said, all right. But then which other scriptures is Srimati Radharani mentioned in? Shri Baldev Vidyabhushan quoted so many verses from Padma Puran, from so many other literatures where Srimati Radharani is directly mentioned. So then they were silenced, completely silenced, the opponents. But then they continued. They said, all right, we accept Srimati Radharani. She is bona fide. She's a main gopi. We accept it. But can you give some more praman? Can you give some more evidence? So our Baldev Vidyabhushan, he gave many, many references. He says in Bhagavad Gita, in Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord Krishna says, Na parayeham niravadya samyujam. That famous verse is there where Krishna says, I cannot repay you, my dear gopis. He says that refers to the gopis headed by Srimati Radharani. Then he says, even before the advent of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Jayadev Goswami, in his Geet Govind, he writes, Smara Garala Khandanam Mama Shirasi Mandanam Dehi Pada Pallava Udaram. This is also very famous. All of you must have heard this verse, where Krishna is begging Srimati Radharani that please be merciful to me and place on my head the cooling tender petals of your lotus feet. Dehi Pada Pallava Udaram. Be merciful and place your feet on my head. Krishna is telling Radharani, place your feet on my head. So our Baldev Vidyabhushan is quoting all these Shastra. Then he says, in Radha Kripa Katakshak Stava, which is spoken by Lord Shiva, which is part of our Vedas, it is said, मुनीन्द्र वृंद वंदिते त्रिलोक शोक हारिणी प्रसन्न वक्त्र पंकजे निकुंज भूविलासिनी व्रजेन्द्र भानुनंदिनी व्रजेन्द्र सूनु संगते कदा करिष्यसि हमां कृपा कटाक्ष भाजनम. That Munindra Vrinda Vandite, all the Munis, Narad Muni and all the Munis, they are doing Vandana of Srimati Radharani. Munindra Vrinda Vandite, Triloka Shoka Harini, and Srimati Radharani destroys the sorrow of all the three worlds. Triloka Shoka Harini, Munindra Vrinda Vandite, Triloka Shoka Harini, Prasanna Vaktra Pankaje, Nikunja Bhuvilasini. And with her very beautiful smiling lotus face, she is doing vilas. She's enjoying in the forest of Vrindavan. Vrajendra Bhanu Nandini Vrajendra Sunu Sangate Kada Karishyasi Hamam Kripa Kataksha Bhajanam. And when will that Srimati Radharani cast her merciful glance on me? Who does vilas in the Nikunjas in the forest of Vrindavan with whom? Vrajendra Bhanu Nandini. Vrajendra means the king of Vraja, Bhanu Maharaj, Vrishabhanu Maharaj. He is also king. Vrishabhanu Maharaj also is a king, and Nanda Maharaj also is a king. So Vrishabhanu Maharaj's daughter, Vrajendra Bhanu Nandini is Srimati Radharani, and Vrajendra Sunu Sangate, along with the Vrajendra Sunu, along with Nanda Maharaj's son, Krishna, one who is doing vilas, that Radharani, when will she cast her merciful glance on? Not only that, further Lord Shiva is saying, अनंत कोटि विष्णु लोक नम्र पद्मजार्चिते हिमाद्रिजा पुलोमजा विरिंचजा वर प्रदे अपार सिद्धि रिद्धि दिग्ध सत्पदांगुली नखे कदा करिष्यसि हमां कृपा कटाक्ष भाजनम. Now listen carefully. Listen carefully. अनंत कोटि विष्णु लोक नम्र पद्मजार्चिते. Listen to the words. Ananta Koti Vishnu Loka Namra Padmaja Archite. Means Ananta Koti, there are millions of Vaikuntha planets. Ananta Koti Vishnu Loka. Vishnu Loka means Vaikuntha planets. Lord Shiva is saying, in the thousands and thousands of Vaikuntha planets, Vishnu Loka, Padmaja. Who is Padmaja? Srimati Lakshmi Devi. Srimati Lakshmi Devi. Archite. The Lakshmi Devi, who is the queen of thousands of Vaikuntha planets, that queen of thousands of Vaikuntha planet is worshipping the lotus feet of Radharani. So these Ramanandis are saying worship Lakshmi Narayan, not Radharani. So Shri Baldev Vidyabhushan is giving praman from the Shastras that your Lakshmi Devi, thousands of Lakshmi Devis of thousands of Vaikuntha planets are worshipping the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani. Ananta Koti Vishnu Loka Namra Padma Jarchite. Not only that, Himadrija, even Parvati Devi. Lord Shivji is saying, my wife Parvati Devi is also worshipping. Himadrija, Pulomaja, the wife of Indra, Virinchaja, Saraswati, the wife of Brahmaji, they are all Varaprade. Radharani is giving them Vardhan, is giving them benedictions. And Apara Siddhi Riddhi Dikta Sat Padanguli Nakhe. Padanguli Nakhe. The tip of the toenail of Srimati Radharani is capable of giving Apara Siddhi. All the spiritual perfections can be attained by the tip of the toenail of Srimati Radharani. Kada Karishyasi Hamam Kripa Kataksha Bhajanam. That Srimati Radharani, when will she cast her merciful glance on? Shri Baldev Vidyabhushan continues. Makheshwari, Kriyeshwari, Swadheshwari, Sureshwari, Triveda Bharatishwari, Pramana Shashaneshwari, Rameshwari, Kshameshwari, Pramoda Kananeshwari, Vrajeshwari, Vrajadhite, Shri Radhike Namostute. You are asking where is Radharani's name mentioned in the Shastra? Here it is. Shri Radhike Namostute. So she is Makheshwari. She is the Adhishtatri Devi of all the sacrifices. Even our Nam Sankirtan Yajna. All the Yajnas are meant for Radharani's enjoyment. She is Makheshwari. She is Kriyeshwari. All our activities are meant for the pleasure of Srimati Radharani. She is Swadheshwari. She is the goal of all the demigods. And Sureshwari. She is the goal of all the demigods. She is the mistress of all the demigods. Triveda Bharatishwari. And she is the queen of all the teachings of all the Vedas. And Pramana Shashaneshwari. And she is the enforcement of all the scriptural principles. All the scriptural principles are meant to worship Srimati Radharani. She is Rameshwari. She is the supreme Rameshwari. She is the supreme. Rama is Lakshmi Devi. And she is Rameshwari. She is the supreme goddess of fortune, Srimati Radharani. And she is Shameshwari. You have offended Radharani, but she is Shameshwari. Oh, Shama karegi. She will forgive you also. She is the mistress. She is the Lord of all forgiveness. Shameshwari. Then Pramoda Kananeshwari. And with great pramod, with great happiness, she is also the goddess of Kananeshwari, of the Vrindavan forest. Of all the 12 forests, she is the Devi. And she is Vrajeshwari. She is the Devi of Vrindavan. And she is Vrajadhipe, another name. She is also the Devi of Vrindavan. Vrajeshwari, Vrajadhipe, Shri Radhike Namostute. So Shankar Bhagavan is offering his namaskar to Srimati Radharani. And you are asking, where is Radharani mentioned in the Shastra? Then Shri Baldev Vidyabhushan quotes from Brihad Gautamiya Tantra. Devi Krishnamai Prokta Radhika Paradevata Sarva Lakshmi Mai Sarva Kanti Sammohini Para. Clearly mentioned. This is the Vedic literatures. And it is mentioned that Devi Krishnamai Prokta. She is brilliantly shining and is non-different from Krishna. She is Krishnamai. She is Krishnamai. Krishna Pranamai Radha, Radha Pranamayo Hari, Jivane Nidhane Nityam, Radha Krishna Gatir Mama, Vrindavaneshwari Radha, Krishno Vrindavaneshwara, Jivane Nidhane Nityam, Radha Krishna Gatir Mama. So Devi Krishna Mai Prokta Radhika Paradevata. She is the most worshipable. Paradevata. Sarva Lakshmi Mai Sarva Kanti Sammohini Para. Here it is directly mentioned that she is worshipable and presides over Sarva Lakshmi. All the Lakshmis, they are serving Srimati Radhika Rani. This is direct praman from Brihad Gautamiya Tantra, and this verse is also quoted in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. So all these evidences are being given by Baldev Vidyabhushan. And then also it is mentioned by our acharyas. There's a list of evidences. We don't have time. But Srimati Radharani is mentioned all over the scriptures. In Radha Sudhanidhi by Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati, it is mentioned, it begins with Yasya kadapi vasanancha lakhelanotha dhanyati dhanya pavane nakritarthamani Yogindra durgama gatir madhusudanopi tasya namostu vrishabhanu bhuvo dishepi. So here it is mentioned Yasya kadapi vasanan chala khelonotha, that just playfully the tip of the pallu of the sari of Srimati Radharani, when the whiff of the air, the breeze that has touched the tip of the sari of Srimati Radharani comes to Shri Krishna, dhanyati dhanya pavanena kritarthamani. Krishna considers himself dhanya, ati dhanya, that I got the wind that has touched the tip of the sari of Srimati Radharani. Yogindra durgama gatir madhusudanopi. Even for all the Yogindra, all the best of the yogis, Krishna, Yogeshwar Krishna, Madhusudan, he considers himself most successful. He has attained Gati if Srimati Radharani's tip of the sari's breeze touches him. Tasya namostu vrishabhanu bhuvo dishepi. And Krishna offers obeisances to the direction from which that wind is coming. Wind that has touched Radharani. That is Krishna. And from that Krishna, you have separated Radharani. Such audacity. Such audacity. Yat kinkarishu bahusha khalu kakuvani nityam parasya purushasya shikhanda maule tasya kada rasa nidher vrishabhanujaya statkeli kunja bhavanam ganamarjana swam. So here Prabodhananda Saraswati is praying, who also was from the Shri Sampradaya initially. Prabodhananda Saraswati, he is the uncle of Gopal Bhatta Goswami. He is saying, when will I become the cleaner of the yard, of the forest, the Nikunja of Srimati Radharani, who is an ocean of rasa, where Krishna always speaks in a pleading voice repeatedly with the servants of Radharani. Krishna is begging the servants of maid servants of Radharani to allow him inside the Kunja. Yat kinkarishu, the kinkaris of Radharani, yat kinkareshu bahusha, in various ways, khalu kakuvani, very sweetly, nityam, always, parasya, purushasya shikhanda maule, our shikhanda maule, Krishna who wears the peacock feather, is always doing yachana, begging the kinkaris of Radharani, please, please, let me come inside. So in this way, there are so many verses where Srimati Radharani is glorified. This is from Radha Rasa Sudhanidhi of Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati. It is translated by our Bhanu Maharaj, His Holiness Bhanu Swami Maharaj. Very beautiful book, Radha Rasa Sudhanidhi. We can just drown in these verses. Very nice verses. So our Baldev Vidya Bhushan gave so much praman from Padma Puran, from the Tantras, the Vedas, and so many writings of the Goswamis like Jayadev Goswami's Gita Govind, Prabodhananda Saraswati's Radha Sudhanidhi. The Ramanandi sadhus who were opposing were completely defeated. They had nothing to say. They were speechless. They said, we accept Srimati Radharani's supremacy. But Srimati Radharani is supreme. We accept. But then, what sampradaya are you in? What sampradaya do you belong to? You are not in the 4 sampradayas. So Srila Baldev Vidya said, no, that is a misconception you have. Of course, we are in the 4 sampradaya. We belong to the Brahma sampradaya, Brahma Madhva sampradaya. In the line of Sripad Madhvacharya was Lakshmipati Tirtha. And both Madhavendra Puri and Nityananda Prabhu took initiation from Lakshmipati Tirtha. So our Gaudiya Parampara is in the Brahma Madhva Sampradaya. Therefore we say Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. They said, all right, that is okay, but then why don't you have your own commentary on the Vedanta Sutra? Because we Ramanandis, we have our Shripad Ramanacharya Shri Bhashya, commentary on Vedanta Sutra of Vyasdev. Even the Nimbaditya ji has his own commentary, Vishnu Swami has his own commentary, and Sripad Madhvacharya has his commentary. So because you are not fully following what Sripad Madhvacharya said exclusively, and you are a branch of the Madhvacharya Sampradaya, you should have your own commentary. Why a commentary doesn't exist in your Sampradaya? That means the Sampradaya is not bona fide. Sri Baldev Vidya Bhushan explained. The reason we don't have our own commentary on the Vedanta Sutra is because the Acharya, the supreme Acharya of our Sampradaya, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna himself, said that, in Chaitanya Charitamrita said that Srimad Bhagavatam is the natural commentary on Vedanta Sutra by the author of Vedanta Sutra, Vyasdev. Who wrote Vedanta Sutra, Brahma Sutras? Vyasdev. Vyasdev himself wrote Srimad Bhagavatam. So Srimad Bhagavatam is the natural commentary on Vedanta Sutra by the author of Vedanta Sutra, Vyasdev himself. Therefore, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said there is no need for us to write a separate commentary. We accept Srimad Bhagavatam as the commentary to Vedanta Sutra. Very nice explanation. But the Ramanandis did not accept. They said, no. That is not accepted. Srimad Bhagavatam is Srimad Bhagavatam. But you should have your own commentary also. Our last demand is, we accept that you are a bona fide Sampradaya, the Gaudiyas. You are connected to the Brahma Madhva Sampradaya. We accept. We accept Srimati Radharani Supreme. We accept in Chaitanya Charitamrita, your Kaviraj Goswami has said that Govinda Nandini Radha Govinda Mohini Govinda Sarvasva Sarva Kanta Shiromani. Govinda Anandini. You give Ananda Ahlad to Govinda. Govinda Nandini Radha. Radharani's name is mentioned. Radha Govinda Mohini. And she's Govinda Mohini. Krishna is Madan Mohan and Radha is Madan Mohan Mohini. You even attract Krishna. So you are Govinda Mohini. And now listen to this carefully. Govinda Sarvasva. You are everything for Govinda. You are Govinda's life and soul. Govinda Sarvasva. Sarva Kanta Shiromani. You are Sarva Kanta Shiromani. You are the crest jewel of all Kantas. Srimati Lakshmi Devi is Vishnu Kanta. She is the wife of Vishnu. But Sarva Kanta Shiromani is Radharani. Govinda Nandini Radha Govinda Mohini Govinda Sarvasva Sarva Kanta Shiromani. So we accept this. No problem. Our last demand is please produce your own commentary on the Vedanta Sutras. We give you 18 days. Some biographers say that only 7 days were given. We give you 18 days. You come up with your own commentary, the Gaudiya commentary on the Vedanta Sutra, and we will accept. Completely will accept you. We will bring Radharani and keep her next to your Govinda Dev, and Gaudiya Vaishnavas can take over the worship. But give us your own commentary on Vedanta Sutra. Now there are 500 Vedanta Sutras. I'll show you. I have it here. So our Bhanu Maharaj has also translated the Brahma Sutras, the Vedanta Sutras, along with the commentary of Baldev Vidyabhushan. Along with the commentary of Baldev Vidyabhushan. So big book, right? There are 500 Vedanta Sutras. And you have to write a commentary on each and every sutra. And writing commentary means not just some like how we give class. We read a verse and whatever comes to our mind, we write. Not like that. This is Shabda Brahma. So you have to, whatever you write as a commentary to the Vedanta Sutras, you have to substantiate it from Shastra. That Bhagavatam says like this, therefore like this. Ramayana says this like this. Vedas says this like this. So you have to substantiate everything. Not an easy job to write a commentary on the Vedanta. 500 Vedanta Sutras. Very difficult. To understand the Sutras is itself very difficult. But to write your own commentary, and that also not, no plagiarism. Not taking from Srimad Ramanujacharya or Srimad Madhvacharya. Original commentary on Vedanta Sutra. And that also just 18 days. Impossible. They knew it was impossible. And Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan also knew. Because he was such a scholar, he knew it is an impossible task to write. But if Krishna wants to do something, nothing is impossible for Krishna. So what did Baldev Vidyabhushan do when he was in such a precarious condition where the entire Gaudiya Parampara was at risk of losing its validity? Shri Baldev Vidyabhushan went to Govinda Dev and he offered his obeisances. And with tears in his eyes, he cried and prayed to Govinda Dev that please, you are the Pranadhan of Shri Rupa Goswami. And Shri Rupa Goswami's Rupanuga Sampradaya, Gaudiya Sampradaya is at stake today. Please help me. Please empower me. If you empower me, I will be able to write. Srila Prabhupada also prayed like this on Jaladuta. Tava kripa hale mora katha shuddha habe shuniya sabara shoka dukha je guchibe. Tava kripa hale mora katha shuddha habe. If you give me your mercy, then my katha that I'm going to speak in America, my Hari Katha will become Shuddha, will become pure. And Shuniya Sabara Shoka Dukha Je Guchibe. And when these Western people hear this Hari Katha, which you have purified, all their sorrows will be gone. Srila Prabhupada prayed like that in Jaladuta. So if you want, please make my words pure so that the message will penetrate their heart. Srila Prabhupada prayed like this. So Baldev Vidyabhushan also prayed like that. That please help me Govinda Dev. Please help me Govinda Dev. Help me to serve you. I want to serve you in your parampara. I want to serve Rupa Goswami. I want to serve Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti. Please help me. I am powerless. Eka ki amara nahi paya bala harinama sankirtane. Eka ki amara nahi pahi bala harinama sankirtane. I don't have the strength to push forward this Mahaprabhu Sankirtan movement. Eka ki, alone. I cannot do it. Oh Gurudev, oh Krishna, Guru Govinda, please give me your mercy. Shri Govinda Dev spoke to Shri Baldev Vidyabhushan. He said, why do you worry? I am there with you. You just write. You just write and I will dictate to you what is to be written. You don't worry. They have given you 18 days. We will write it in 5 days. Start writing. 500 verses, 5 days. 500 sutras, 5 days we will write. So then Baldev Vidyabhushan took pen and paper and started writing. And Lord Govinda Dev was dictating. So everything that is there was dictated by Sri Govinda Dev to Baldev Vidyabhushan. Baldev Vidyabhushan, like a puppet, just wrote down. Just wrote down. And he had been given 18 days. In 5 days, he came with his commentary. And he presented and he said, please study it scrutinizingly. I give you 18 days to study this commentary and find faults in it. If you find even one fault, if you are able to point out one flaw in this commentary, I will go back to Vrindavan. He challenged them. I give you 18 days. Study scrutinizingly this commentary. So he said, okay, we'll study, but what is the name of this commentary? He says, this commentary is Govinda Bhashya, because Govinda spoke. Govinda Bhashya. It is the speech of Govinda Dev, not my words. So they studied it scrutinizingly, my dear friends, and they were completely conquered by the authenticity and the authoritativeness of this beautiful Govinda Bhashya, Shri Govinda Bhashya. It was a perfect commentary, and they were so overwhelmed that such brilliance, such scholarship, such profound philosophy, beautiful, this is beautiful. They came and they offered obeisances to Sri Baldev Vidyabhushan. And they said, this commentary is so beautiful. We have never read such a beautiful commentary. It's original, it's authentic, and it's fantastic. So we accept Sri Govinda Bhashya as an authentic Gaudiya commentary on the Vedanta Sutra. We accept the supreme position of Srimati Radharani, and we accept you Gaudiyas as bona fide Vaishnavas. Srimati Radharani can come back with Govinda Dev. She can stand on his left side, and all of you can worship her from today. All of you can take over the worship of Radha Govinda Dev from today. So then Baldev Vidyabhushan was very happy on behalf of his Guru Maharaj. And Radharani was brought with great pomp and celebration. And there was a big utsav in Jaipur, where Radha Govinda Dev were reunited after some brief Vipralambha by the mercy of Baldev Vidyabhushan. And then the Gaudiya Vaishnavas took over as head pujaris of Radha Govinda Dev again. And then the Ramanandis came to Sri Baldev Vidyabhushan when all these festivities and celebration was going on. And they fell at his lotus feet. They begged forgiveness from him. And they said, please give us Diksha. Please initiate us. We also want to become Gaudiyas. At that point, what Sri Baldev Vidyabhushan spoke, my dear friends, is very instructive for all of us. He said, no. That would be a Vaishnava Aparadha. Because you are Ramanandi sadhus. You are a branch of Sri Ramanujacharya Sampradaya. It is a very great Sampradaya. It's a bona fide Sampradaya. If I were to reinitiate you, that would be an offense at the lotus feet of Sripad Ramanujacharya. I will not do that. You are very nicely situated. Let there be harmony between the Ramanandis and the Gaudiyas. We will all serve together. We will all worship together. We will all chant the holy names together. Let us be brothers. So don't accept me as a guru. Accept me as your friend. We are friends. So Sri Baldev Vidyabhushan is teaching us a very important principle, my dear friends, that we should never look down upon other sampradayas. We should never look down upon other sadhus. And there are sadhus which are not even technically in the 4 sampradayas, but we should still respect them. There are so many great sadhus in Vrindavan, so many great temples and traditions in Vrindavan which are completely bona fide. But if you try to strictly trace, we may not be able to trace it to the 4 sampradayas. But we should not disrespect any Vaishnava. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, anyone who is chanting Krishna Naam is a Vaishnava. So we should not look down upon or criticize. There is no need to criticize anyone. We should be happy in our Gaudiya Sampradaya. We should try to become Rupanugas. And then we should try to please Srila Prabhupada. That is our mission of our life, to please Srila Prabhupada. So then Baldev Vidyabhushan, he goes back to Shri Vrindavan Dham with the happy news that, my dear Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur Guru Maharaj, your Radharani is now reunited with Govinda Dev. They are together, and our Gaudiya devotees have taken over the worship again, and Radha Govinda Dev are being worshipped exactly as Srila Rupa Goswami and Srila Jiva Goswami had established the standards, like that. So they were very happy. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur tightly embraced Sri Baldev Vidyabhushan and said, my dear Baldev Vidyabhushan, you have given me so much pleasure. Today, I make you the next Acharya of the Gaudiya Sampradaya. So when Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur left this world, the next Acharya of our Sampradaya became Shri Baldev Vidyabhushan. Shri Baldev Vidyabhushan, Govinda Bhashya is so important, my dear friends, that at the beginning of Bhagavad Gita as it is, Srila Prabhupada dedicates Bhagavad Gita to Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan. And Srila Prabhupada writes, if you see Bhagavad Gita as it is dedicated to Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan. And Srila Prabhupada writes, this book is dedicated to Shri Baldev Vidyabhushan, who so nicely wrote the commentary on Vedanta Sutra called Shri Govinda Bhashya. So Srila Prabhupada actually dedicates his Bhagavad Gita. You see this? Everyone can see? This is Bhagavad Gita as it is. And see in the beginning, Srila Prabhupada writes, this Bhagavad Gita as it is, which is the highest selling copy of Bhagavad Gita in the whole history of mankind on this planet. This Bhagavad Gita, Srila Prabhupada dedicates to Sri Baldev Vidyabhushan, who so nicely wrote the Govinda Bhashya commentary on Vedanta Sutra. It is said by our Acharya Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes in Navadvip Mahatmya that a very intimate associate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Gaur Leela is Gopinath Acharya. You all know Gopinath Acharya? When all the Gaudiya Vaishnavas came to Jagannath Puri to meet Mahaprabhu during the first Chaturmas, standing on the terrace of the palace, Gopinath Acharya was telling Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya and Maharaj Prataprudra, each and every devotee, that devotee who is very effulgent is Advaita Acharya. That devotee is Gadadhar Pandit. That devotee is Srivas Thakur. That devotee is Haridas Thakur. So that is Gopinath Acharya. He was from Navadvip, but he came and settled down in Jagannath Puri. And then later on, when Mahaprabhu came as a sannyasi in Jagannath Puri, Gopinath Acharya took great care. Gopinath Acharya was the guru of Maharaj Prataprudra, and he took great care of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this Gopinath Acharya, who is a brother-in-law of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, an intimate associate of Mahaprabhu, is Baldev Vidyabhushan. Hare Krishna. So 500 years ago, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's intimate associate Gopinath Acharya reincarnated 300 years ago as Baldev Vidyabhushan. And Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes that this Baldev Vidyabhushan in Krishna Leela is a gopi called Ratnavali Devi, who is Srimati Radharani's intimate friend. So in Golok Vrindavan, in Vraj Leela, in Krishna Leela, Srimati Radharani's very intimate friend, Ratnavali Gopi, incarnated as Baldev Vidyabhushan. Hare Krishna. So you can imagine Baldev Vidyabhushan, how he must have felt when he's Ratnavali Sakhi of Radharani. When Radharani was separated from Govinda Dev, how Baldev Vidyabhushan must have thought. Because he's a gopi, he's a friend of Radharani. So this is our great Baldev Vidyabhushan. And I would like to tell the parampara from Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur side also, how Baldev Vidyabhushan is the combination of two very beautiful dharas. One dhara is coming from Nityananda Prabhu. We saw the Guru Shishya Parampara. Now there is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's disciple and friend was Loknath Goswami, his friend from Navadvip, who Mahaprabhu sent to Vrindavan. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's disciple is Loknath Goswami. Who is Loknath Goswami's disciple? Narottam Das Thakur. Now Narottam Das Thakur is a friend of Shyamananda Prabhu and Srinivas Acharya. And Shyamananda Prabhu, we saw Shyamananda Pandit, then Rasikananda Prabhu, then Nayanananda Goswami, Radha Damodar Goswami, and Baldev Vidyabhushan. So now there is Mahaprabhu, there is Loknath Goswami, there is Narottam Das Thakur. Narottam Das Thakur's disciple was Ganga Narayan Chakravarti. Ganga Narayan Chakravarti's disciple was Krishna Charan Chakravarti. Krishna Charan Chakravarti's disciple was Radha Raman Goswami. And Radha Raman Goswami's disciple is Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's Shiksha disciple is Baldev Vidyabhushan. So this is the complete unbroken chain of disciplic succession coming all the way to Shri Baldev Vidyabhushan. Shri Baldev Vidyabhushan's very intimate disciple was Uddhav Goswami. Shri Baldev Vidyabhushan's main disciple, prominent disciple was Uddhav Das Goswami. Uddhav Goswami's prominent disciple was Madhusudan Babaji Maharaj. Baldev Vidyabhushan's disciple is Uddhav Das Babaji Maharaj. Uddhav Das Babaji Maharaj's disciple was Madhusudan Babaji Maharaj. And Madhusudan Babaji Maharaj's disciple is Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj. Hare Krishna. This is the unbroken, complete parampara down to Srila Prabhupada. So there is Baldev Vidyabhushan, Uddhav Das Babaji Maharaj, Madhusudan Das Babaji Maharaj, Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj. Shri Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, Shiksha disciple Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur Shiksha disciple is Gaur Kishordas Babaji Maharaj. Gaur Kishordas Babaji Maharaj is Diksha disciple, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur Shiksha disciple is Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj Srila Prabhupada. And Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's initiated disciple, Shiksha and Diksha disciple, is Om Vishnupada Paramhamsa Parivrajaka Acharya Ashtottar Shri Srimad Abhay Charanarvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, our founder Acharya. And his disciples are our Guru Varga. Haribol! We have nothing to fear, my dear friends. We should be very proud, very happy by our parampara, directly from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is our parampara, my dear friends. One great soul after one Mahabhagavad after the other, one Acharya after another. Acharya to Acharya, Acharya to Acharya. So, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Baldev Vidya Bhushan ki jai, Shri Gopinath Acharya ki jai, Shri Ratnavali Devi ki jai, Shri Krishna Lila ki jai, Shri Radha Govinda Dev ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Dandvat Pranam is a very excellent, amazing. You have explained very nicely all Guru Parampara. And first time I hear this Govinda Bhasya, you have explained about that one, Prabhuji. It's very nice. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. All glory to the Vaishnava. Prabhuji, you have a few minutes so we can have a question answer.
Okay, Prabhu.
Okay, Prabhu. Okay. Vivek Prabhu, go ahead and you can take care of this.
Hare Krishna. If anyone has any questions, can please raise your hands. We can unmute you and you can ask questions to Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. This is Anand Gaurang Das.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for glorification of Srila Baldev Vidya Bhushan. It was very, very nice. I have one question. The prayers of Lord Shiva that you mentioned in a Veda about glorification of Srimati Radharani, where can we find that?
It is the Radha Kripa Katakshak Stava. I will send it to Pradyumna Prabhu. Are you in touch
Yes.
with Pradyumna Prabhu?
Yes, that would be nice.
I will send it to Pradyumna Prabhuji.
Yes, that would be very nice. Yes.
Thank you. It is
Thank
from
you,
our Vedic literature only.
Glories of devotees are as nice as glories of Lord Krishna.
Yes.
Yes, so nice. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Anyone else has any questions?
हरे कृष्णा जय आदि कथाधर दास प्रभु अनंत कोटि दंडवत प्रणाम श्रील प्रभुपाद श्रील गुरुदेव की जय श्री रत्नावली सखी की जय श्रीमती श्री राधा रानी की जय और गुरु परंपरा की जय. Yes, Prabhuji, I also hear today first time the glorification Hari Hari Gauranga Anant Koti Dandvat Pranam to your sincere seva Srila Prabhupada Srila Gurudev Shri Radha Gopinath ki jai. Thank you, Prabhu. No words to your sincere seva. Hari Hari Gauranga.
Thank you, Vrinda Gopika Mata. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, if nobody has any questions, Prabhuji, I have a question. Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. First of all, really sincerely thanking you for literally taking us few hundred years behind, taking us to the exact pastime of Srila Baladev Vidya Bhushan, and also explaining to us about it's like whenever we listen to your classes, you touch upon so many subjects, Prabhuji. We are extremely grateful to you. The question I have is, you mentioned that Srila Baladev Vidya Bhushan's Siksha Guru was Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. We see that the theme is pretty consistent within Gaudiya Sampradaya. Even Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he writes an entire chapter of glorifying his instructing spiritual masters, and he writes one chapter of taking blessings of his spiritual masters and Krishna before even talking about Lord Chaitanya's pastimes. Can you please shine some light on this one particular line, Prabhuji? Like why is that? How is that a person is able to take a word of an instructing spiritual master so seriously, because like a practicing sadhaka, we don't really feel that much when somebody is coming and instructing us. We only always take an instruction from our, say, Diksha or an aspiring spiritual master or a spiritual master to be life and soul. But when an instructing spiritual master is actually instructing us, how do we really come to the point of taking it to be really serious? It could be serious, but we may not be in a position or at the consciousness of taking it seriously. So can you please throw some light on that, Prabhuji? Thank you.
Hare Krishna. So Vivek Prabhu, the term Shiksha Guru is used quite loosely nowadays. Anyone we hear their lectures, or anyone who is a superior Vaishnava, and we like to hear their classes, or we ask them questions, we call them Shiksha Guru. Oh, my Shiksha Guru is so and so, this is my Shiksha Guru, this is my Shiksha Guru. Yes, we can have many Shiksha Gurus, but Shiksha Guru actually, if you look at the Shastras, Shiksha Guru is a very heavy term, because Shiksha Guru is as advanced as a Diksha Guru. Otherwise, you cannot become a Shiksha Guru. How can you give Shiksha? So here are a few things. Our Diksha Guru is our preeminent Shiksha Guru. Our Diksha Guru is also our Shiksha Guru. Then the previous Acharyas are also our Shiksha Gurus. Like Srila Prabhupada is a Shiksha Guru for the whole world. Srila Prabhupada is a Shiksha Guru for the whole ISKCON. He is our main Shiksha Guru, Srila Prabhupada. Then we need Shiksha Gurus also to help us advance in Krishna consciousness, especially if we don't have close contact with our Diksha Guru. That's why the concept of Shiksha Guru is there. Shiksha Guru should be respected as much as Diksha Guru. Shiksha Guru should be as advanced as Diksha Guru. Otherwise, you cannot become a Guru. Whether it is Shiksha Guru or Diksha Guru, you cannot become Guru unless na mochayatyam samupetam mrityum. Unless you can deliver your dependents, your disciples, from the cycle of birth and death. Guru na satyat, swajana na satyat, pita na satyat, janani na satyat, deva na satyat, napati na satyat, namo chayetyo samupeta mrityum. The fifth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Maharaj Rishabdev speaks this very important instruction to his 100 sons, that one cannot become a guru unless and until one can deliver the disciples. So we should not use the term Shiksha Guru just for anyone. The Shiksha Guru has to be on the same level as a Diksha Guru in order to give Shiksha. And the instructions of such a Diksha Guru and such a Shiksha Guru, who are liberated souls, who are pure devotees, we should take as the mission of our life. Vyavasat meka buddhi. Srila Prabhupada says in the purport we read, we should make our life and soul the instructions of such a Guru, whether Shiksha Guru or Diksha Guru, a pure devotee. Because so many people may come and give so many instructions. Not that we make our life's mission to follow their instructions. We respect all Vaishnavas. We respect and we cooperate. We try to cooperate. But to make the instructions the mission of our life, that we have to listen to the pure devotees. And we should have such pure devotees as our Diksha Guru and Shiksha Gurus. So there is a difference, Prabhu. Not anybody can be Shiksha Guru. We use the term Shiksha Guru anyway. Therefore, I prefer the term spiritual mentor or spiritual counselor, or he is my superior, like that. Or he's like my elder brother, or she is my didi. She's like my elder sister. She's guiding me. Those are better terms than to say that this is my Shiksha Guru. But Shiksha Guru it carries a lot of weight. Is that okay, Vivek Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for clarifying. Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
We have one more.
Yes.
Thank you so much for class, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Naveen Prabhu.
Radha Kripa Kataksha, is there anything regarding that you were singing, Prabhu? We I couldn't sing when I see it as lyrics or anything. So is there any recording, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu, I will send it to you privately.
Thank you.
Thank you, Naveen Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Is there any other question? If not, we can end the class. ठीक है प्रभु stop.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
So much,
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Hare
Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Namo Namaha.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Jai Radha.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare